Hi everyone, today I'm presenting a podcast episode from Lex Friedman podcast with Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google. This presentation is part of the theme 3 of this course, which focus on algorithmic governance and AI-driven surveillance. Instead of summarizing the episode, I'm treating it as a political data. The goal is to see how AI governance is actually talked about by someone who holds real power over AI system. So my main question that guiding my presentation is very simple. How does a major tech leader explain responsibility and governance around AI? In other words, when Pichai talks about AI risk, safety, and power, who does he think should be responsible? How should that responsibility work, and what kind of governance logic show up in his language? To answer this, I worked with the podcast transcript and a set of ranked files that were provided to me for this episode. These ranked files organize sentences from the transcript based on how strongly they relate to different governance themes. This helped me focus on clear, high-value evidence rather than general impression of the conversation. Very briefly, the ranked file score sentences based on how closely they relate to a theme. I focus only on high-ranked sentences because those given the clearest example of governance language. In this way, I'm using sentences that the method already identify as highly relevant. When I look over the ranked evidence, one thing becomes clear very quickly. One theme dominates this episode, which is corporate AI governance and safety. There's also some discussion of platform power and information quality, but much less emphasizes on legal oversight or state regulation. Let me start with the strongest AI governance and safety. In the highest rank sentences, Pichai repeatedly talks about AI as a powerful technology that needs to be handled carefully. He emphasized responsibility, long term thinking, and the need to avoid rushing development. As we look more closely, what's interesting is where governance is located. Governance is framed as something that happens inside the company through research team, internal rules, safety reviews, and leadership decision. There is also very little discussion of governments setting firms boundaries or enforcing limits. Also, the tone here really matters. Pichai speaks in a calm, measured way. He acknowledges uncertainty and risk, but he never sounds panic. These effects create trust. It presents the company as a careful, rational, and capable of self-control. This tone supports a specific governance message, which is yes, AI is risky, but we understand those risks and we can manage them repeatedly. That framing helps legitimize corporate control over AI governance. The second theme that appears is platform power and information quality. Here, Pichai talks about issues like misinformation, misuse, and the influence of larger platform. Again, these are treated as serious problems, but the solution are mostly technical and internal. For example, solutions focus on better system, better safeguards, and better internal decision making. But the external regulation or domestic oversight is mentioned much less often. The platform is positioned as both like the problem holder and the problem solver. The effect here is similar to the AI safety discussion. The tone is confidence and reassuring. Problems are knowledge, but they are framed as manageable within existing corporate structure. One important part of qualitative analysis is noticing what's missing. In this episode, there is very little emphasis on law enforcement or binding public regulation. Governance is discussed mainly in ethnical and technical terms, not political or legal ones. Putting everything together, a clear governance model emerged. This episode promotes a model of platform self-governance. Responsibility is centralized inside the company, supported by expertise, caution, and internal norms rather than external accountability. So my main takeaway is this. The podcast presentation AI governance as something best handled by a responsible platform themselves through calm language and selective emphasis. Corporate authority over AI is normalized and justified. Using rank evidence help us see how governance appears in real political language, not just theory. This episode is a strong example of how AI power is publicly explained and defended by those who control it. That's what I want to show today. Thank you so much.